the signal when we're recording.
You're ready to go.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, welcome everybody. Today is our webinar and we're very excited that you're joining us. We have a couple webinars this week, which you all received in the emails that I was sending out. They're both for students that have applied for our master's programs, whether it's in person or online for fall 2023. And the majority of the students have already been admitted, and you've already been notified that you've been officially admitted to any one of our engineering departments for fall 2023. But I know some of you did not receive that communication yet because there has been so many applications and we did not want to leave you out. So for those of you that did not, do take comfort in knowing that your application has been reviewed. You are receiving serious consideration for master's admission at University of Florida, and it's just in those final stages. So whether it's in the last stage with UF admissions or the graduate school, but the faculty in the department have reviewed your applications and feel comfortable with your admission, but it is waiting on the last final step, and that has to take place, and that's different for each of your scenarios. So if that involves you, then do feel free to stay in close contact with our graduate staff in our departments. So we have a wonderful presentation for you today. There are lots of you that are logged in right now, well over 100, and the numbers keep climbing. So I've invited a lot of our current graduate staff and some of our graduate students, and we all want to chat with you and answer your questions. So we'll get started here, but let's do some introductions so you can see everybody that's online. Okay, so we can start with introductions here, and we'll just go across the screen.
Okay. Hello, I'm Toshi Nishida, and I'm a professor of electrical and computer engineering and associate dean for academic affairs in the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering. Welcome.
And my name is Mike Nazareth. If I've not met you in person, I'm sure you've received a lot of emails and other contact from me. And I work with helping to bring in all of the talented new master's students like yourselves and PhD students to our college.
Hi, my name is Ashley Wilson. I'm the coordinator for graduate recruitment, and I work with Mike Nazareth to help bring on all of you.
Is Martine there?
I'm
there
here.
Okay.
Hi. I had to find the unmute. So yes, my name is Martine Angren. I'm Director of F1 International Student Services here at the International Center.
Hello, I'm Christina Sapp, and I do the graduate admissions for CISE.
Hi, I'm Julissa Nunez, and I work in the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department.
Hello, everyone. My name is Krista, and I am the Graduate Academic Advisor for the Biomedical Engineering Department.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sumant Patankar. I'm a professor in the Chemical Engineering Department and also the Master's Program Coordinator.
Hi, my name is Paula Johns. I am the Graduate Academic Program Specialist for the Engineering School of Sustainable Infrastructure and Environment, which houses civil, coastal, and environmental engineering sciences.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jordan Sharpshire, and I am the Graduate Academic Advisor in the Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering, also called ISE.
Hi, I'm Megan McMahon, and I am the admissions specialist for mechanical and aerospace engineering.
Hello, my name is Tahira Franklin. I am the Graduate Academic Advisor for the Department of Material Science and Engineering and the Nuclear Engineering Program.
Hello everyone, my name is Ui Han, and I'm a second year master student in ECE department. Nice to meet you all.
Did Sonia make it? Ashley, do you know if she's on?
Hi, my name is Sonia Esmonteku. I'm a PhD candidate in the Materials Science and Engineering department.
Okay, great. So thank you all for participating today. So we have lots of the admitted students online right now, and you can see how we're all very excited to be here because there are so many of us. We have all of our engineering departments, and there's quite a few of them that are represented. So we want to make the most of our time today. We will probably go about an hour, but some of us may be available longer if it takes a little bit longer. So we're going to go through a series of slides on lots of topics. We have some students that have been admitted from the state of Florida, some from other states throughout the United States, and some that are international from other countries. So we have information that's going to spread over all areas and various departments. Some will be applicable to you and some might be applicable to others. So to get your questions answered, and I know you have a lot of questions, feel free starting now that you can address any of our panelists in the Q&A. So feel free to type in your questions to specific panelists and they can be answering the questions as we're going along. So I will go over some slides and I will ask some of our panelists to go over slides as well. Do not feel like you need to write everything down from the slides. Ashley will have all of the slides and we are recording this posted to our websites by Friday morning, and I will send an email out with that link. I think we also have that listed in one of the slides here. Okay, so let's get started with the first series of slides with Associate Dean Toshi Nishida.
Okay, thank you, Mike. So as Mike mentioned, I'm an Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. And on behalf of the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering, I'd like to, again, thank you for taking your valuable time for attending this webinar. So I'll talk briefly about the University of Florida, and then I'll give more details about the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering. As you know, as you may have heard, the University of Florida is a very large, comprehensive land-grant institution. It was established in 1853. It's a very large campus, over 2,000 acres and 900 buildings. Of those 900 buildings, as I'll talk about, over 60 of them are in the College of Engineering. The university itself has over 57,000 students and over 16,000 graduate students. It's comprised of 14 colleges and schools and over 5,000 faculty, and it's a very large research university with over $1 billion in annual research expenditures. It has many amenities, which Mike and the staff and students will elaborate on more in this webinar. Next slide. So why consider the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering? We believe that engineering is essential for tackling the important problems facing the world today, and that engineering and computer science are essential for meeting those needs. And that we believe that it requires a new engineer, an engineer who's technically excellent and also able to lead and innovate in this global and interdisciplinary, increasing global and interdisciplinary world. And we believe that world-changing innovation requires a workplace and culture which is diverse and inclusive. Next slide, please. And so why the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering? The Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering is, as I mentioned, part of this comprehensive university, and our college is very comprehensive, collaborative, and growing. Includes every engineering discipline except architectural and petroleum, and we have outstanding infrastructure, outstanding faculty, outstanding staff, and outstanding students to work with. The College of Engineering is highly inventive and translational. You may have heard about very famous inventions developed by the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering, as well as the University of Florida. And it's produced more licenses and options than a number of top institutions. The College of Engineering is also more diverse than many colleges of engineering in the US, as listed here. Next slide, please. In terms of numbers, we have nearly 12,000 students in the College of Engineering and encompasses 16 degree programs and 11 departments, which are listed here. So there's basically any discipline in engineering that you may be interested, you'll find here at the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering. It has a very large and talented faculty, outstanding staff, and outstanding students. It was established over 100 years ago in 1910. Next slide, please. In terms of rankings, the University of Florida continues to rank very highly, number 5 among public universities. And you can see the upward trend on this table below. Next slide, please. We hold excellent company, as listed here, among the top 10 national public universities. Next slide, please. In order to enable outstanding innovation, requires outstanding facilities as well as outstanding faculty, staff, and students. In terms of facilities, we have, and this is already outdated, we have over 60 buildings, and I'll talk to you about our 2 latest additions. Next slide, please. The 61st building is the Herbert Wertheim Laboratory for Engineering Excellence, and this is completed 2 years ago and includes a state-of-the-art biotech lab, prototyping labs, as well as innovative collaboration spaces in classrooms. Next slide, please. One of the large initiatives that is being led at the university and the College of Engineering is the AI initiative in partnership with a very large donation from NVIDIA. And UF houses the fastest AI supercomputer in higher education, and the details are listed on this slide for those who are interested. And the next slide talks about the latest building. This will be the 62nd building in the College of Engineering, which is the Data Science and IT building, also known as Malachowski Hall. And this will be the headquarters for the Computer Information Science and Engineering and Electrical and Computer Engineering departments. It'll include a number of highly experiential labs, such as hands-on labs for VR, AR, AI, cybersecurity, IoT, GPU, and so on. And it's scheduled for completion this year. So these are just a number of highlights that I wanted to share with you. Again, thank you very much for your interest in the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering. And we have outstanding staff and outstanding students who you'll get to meet next. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, Toshi. So again, for those of you who may have just joined us as of late, we're going through a series of slides on various topics today, and we're answering questions. You can be typing in your questions now. We have many panelists here from all departments, so you can type a question in and several individuals will respond to, or if you just want to address it to a specific department or panelist, that's fine too. If you don't know their names, you can just put the department like MAE or ECE, and then someone will respond. We will provide the slides and the recordings, and we'll send you that link out by Friday morning, so you don't have to write everything down. Okay, so we have quite a few international students that are on the broadcast today. So we've invited Martine from the International Center, and she's going to go over a bunch of information now for you.
Good afternoon again, and my name is Martine. I work with our F1 students at the International Center. So if you are currently abroad, or perhaps you're already in the United States as an F1 attending another school, and you plan to attend UF as an F1, then you will receive communication, or probably have already received communication if you've been informed that you are admitted, about how to submit your I-20 application. Next slide. So these are the areas of interest for our incoming students. There's a lot more information on our website that we have provided. Scanning the QR code will take you to our landing page, and you'll be able to see each of these sections. But we're briefly going to talk about a few of these sections as it relates to preliminary costs and obtaining your I-20 from the International Center. Next slide. All right, so estimated startup costs. It is about $51,705 for a full academic year. That's not necessarily for the entire program. When we are issuing the I-20, we are required to see the first academic year in the proof of funds up front. So your program may in fact cost more. For the College of Engineering, if you are admitted, typically the Achievement Award is provided. So instead of having to show 51,705 USD, you would only have to show 47,205 US dollars. Now, those numbers are subject to change, but if you're admitted to this year, that is likely the amount that you'll have to show. If the number changes, it will be updated in the I-20 instructions that you receive. So if we are informed by your academic department that you are admitted, and if we are informed that you have an achievement award, then you will only need to show 47,205. Any other type of awards that you're provided, you can upload your proof of award and we will recalculate how much you actually have to show. Okay. So the I-20 process, this is a very brief summary of it. We have all detailed instructions in the email that you've already received or that you will receive once we have the I-20 request from the department. If your department recently submitted that, please allow about 5 to 7 business days for us to send that email, as we are communicating with about 3,000 students who we hope all choose UF for this summer and fall. So we will send you the I-20 instructions via our portal. The portal has a generic outgoing email. It is outbound only, so please do not reply to the email. Your F1 advisor's contact information is listed on our website based on your surname. So if you have a question about your I-20 application process, please go to our F1 advisors page and find who your F1 advisor is in order to send them an email. But please do read all the instructions very carefully, as we've put a lot of information within the portal itself. We will send you an email with what you need to do. That email will go to the same email address that you used when you applied to UF. So please make sure to check your inbox, your spam, or your junk mail folder of your personal email address that you used to apply to UF. If you have created your GatorLink account, by the time that we go to send those instructions, it may go to your GatorLink account. So check both of those, your personal account that you used to apply to UF and also your GatorLink account. After you follow all the instructions to upload the necessary documents and to fill out all of the questionnaires, make sure you scroll back to the top and click on Submit Application. And when you do that, you will see a confirmation that is in green that says, thank you for submitting on this date and at this time. And we will soon be in contact with you after we review the application. If you don't see that green confirmation, then your submission was not successful. So please make sure that you see that confirmation. Your F1 advisor will be reviewing I-20 applications. Keep in mind, we're working on a lot of different processes. We tend to work on the I-20 applications about 3 days a week at least. So at least once every other day, we're working with our incoming I-20s. It just depends on how many are pending. The more that are pending, the more likely we'll be working on those more often. The email then is sent to you with instructions on how to download your I-20. We will upload it through the ISSS portal. It will not be shipped to you. It will be uploaded in the portal where you will be able to log in and access it at any time in order to print it and then be able to schedule your visa appointment. So next slide. Ooh, something got jumbled up here. So after you receive your I-20, you then will be able to pay the SEVIS fee. That is a mandatory fee that you must pay both for your visa appointment and for future processes that you'll have here in the US. Then you'll be able to complete your DS-160 visa application form. The SEVIS fee is separate from the DS-160 application fee. So yes, both of those fees must be paid. And then you'll be able to have your visa appointment. Once you have your visa appointment, you'll be requested to provide certain documents such as your I-20, your admission letter, your proof of funds, and your passport at minimum. There are some other documents that they may require from you, so please make sure that you follow the instructions listed as to what to have available for your appointment. Once you obtain your visa, you'll be able to schedule a flight into the US. and then complete the mandatory online check-in. Our check-in is required. If you don't complete that check-in, we will not be able to confirm to the SEVP, the Student Exchange Visitor Program, that you have arrived and checked in to start your program. So it is mandatory that you complete that process online. It is no longer in person. So you'll be able to complete that after you arrive. You are able to actually start it before you arrive, but there are a couple documents that you'll need to upload, and you will not be provided those documents by the Customs and Border Protection Office until after you arrive. Make sure that as you are arriving to Gainesville, that you have, as you are traveling to Gainesville, that you have your I-20, your admission letter, now your F1 visa, your passport, and your proof of funds in hand in order to present them at the port of entry to request entry to the US. These documents need to be in your hand. Do not check them in any luggage that is being stowed on the plane. Do not check them in anything that could possibly get lost. Make sure those things remain in your hand. Scan a copy of everything just in case you do lose them. You'll have a backup. But typically, yes, you do have to have the original passport and the original visa, and then the printed I-20 admission letter and your proof of funds that you can have as copies printed from your email or however it was provided to you. You are only able to enter the US up to 30 days prior to the program start date stated on your I-20. So classes this year are starting on August 23rd. That means you'll be able, if you have your F1 visa, to enter the US as early as July 24th. So make sure you follow the above to not schedule any flights or anything until you have everything confirmed and in order. First the I-20, then the CVIS fee, then the DS-160, obtain your visa, and then schedule your flight. Keep in mind that a lot of affordable apartments may not be available until very late July. Most apartments are leased through July 31st, so you are, and they need some time to clean the apartment and turn that over. So you probably don't want to come in that much early. So July 24th may not be the best unless you're able to stay with a friend, but most apartments will be available perhaps around August 5th or later. Okay, next slide. All right, so our mandatory check-in process, as I stated, is online, no longer in person. You may have a friend who's already here who brings you to the International Center for Check-in. We're happy to meet you in person, but we will then redirect you to online to complete that process. Keep in mind some critical dates at UF. There is a calendar that UF publishes every semester in regards to what deadlines are. If you are admitted to the fall, you will probably see some holds on your account that you need to clear, such as making sure you have the insurance, making sure you put in some information that UF may need about you. So get those holds cleared so that once you're able to register, you'll be able to actually complete that registration. First day of classes is August 23rd. So you want to make sure that you have your registration completed at least by, I think, August 20th, it may be. It's usually about 3 days before classes start for the next semester. So make sure that you have at least one course registered before the first day of classes, otherwise there will be a late fee. Regular drop add happens during the first week of classes, and you must have your registration finalized by the 29th of August in relation to your F1 status. And then fee payment deadline is usually within the first 2 weeks. So you are recommended to be able to pay for your apartment first and last month's rent, about probably a small amount for a deposit. I can't speak today. Things like your electricity and getting a phone set up and getting your internet set up. So you want to have liquid funds available right up front for all of those expenses, and also for your tuition fee payment deadline, so that you don't incur any late fees. And then thereafter, you should have a bank account set up where you'll be able to then have money in account so that you can pay your future semesters. Next slide, please. All right, maintaining F1 status. Since you are all graduate students, the fall semester full-time registration is 9 credits, and also the spring semester is 9 credits. No more than 3 of those credits can be 100% online. The other 6 must be in person, where you report to a classroom for physical presence instruction by the professor in the classroom. If you are required to register in the summer, then you would have to take 6 credits. Summer is typically a vacation semester unless you are admitted to start in the summer or otherwise will graduate in the summer. And then there may be some future requirements, such as if you have an internship experience or whatnot offered to you for the summer. Otherwise, typically only the fall and spring semesters are required. And as an F1, you are allowed to work on the University of Florida campus up to 20 hours per week automatically. There's no need for additional authorization for that. And that is cumulative. So if you have a 10-hour job at the College of Engineering and you have a 10-hour job at the UF bookstore, then cumulative, you are allowed a maximum 20 hours per week. Please be very careful what the work week is. So check that with the supervisor. Typically the work week at UF is Friday to Thursday, but there are some areas that may have a Monday to Friday schedule. You cannot work off campus at all without having authorization from our office in the form of an updated I-20. You will not be eligible for any off-campus authorization in the first academic year, and you may be eligible in your second academic year if and only if you receive CPT authorization to engage in that off-campus training. That includes paid or unpaid, whether it's called internship, externship, co-op, shadow, all the different types of names that the company or institute may give it. You are, if it is not UF and on campus 20 hours or less per week, you are required to have authorization to engage in that activity. So please be very careful. There are other ways that you could perhaps affect, cause harm to your F1 status, but these two are the main two that usually get our students in a little bit of trouble. And we want to make sure that we emphasize that right away. As you complete your check-in, you will read and go through a lot more information about how to make sure that you maintain your F1 status. Next slide. All right, so F1 advisors are based on your last name. So my last name is Angran. I would look up who is the F1 advisor for students who have last name A, and I would then contact them. So similarly, that scan the QR code and you will see that we have 8 advisors working with over 5,600 students. We actually just got to 8 advisors. So we're currently averaging about a 710 students to 1 advisor ratio. So we want to make sure that you reach out to your specific advisor so that we can help you as efficiently as possible. So please make sure that when you receive the email regarding your I-20 that you click on that and follow those instructions as carefully and as quickly as possible. Everything we will need to provide you about the I-20 will be done by email. So continue to check your email on a daily basis. And then keynote is make sure you click on submit application. Each part of the application has a save and a submit for the questionnaire, but you actually have to scroll back to the top to click submit application. All right, thank you. And I hope that you'll be joining us here at UF.
Okay, thank you, Martine. That's a lot of information for the international students. Again, you're getting emails about that, or you will be, and we'll be posting these slides and recordings by Friday at the latest. And we'll try to correct the one slide where we had a little bit of the information overlapping the others. So we're going to let some of our department reps and students chat here and give you any highlights they'd like to talk about for their department or courses, or any information that they think you should consider if you're still deciding if you're going to pick University of Florida for your master's degree versus some other institutions. Associate Dean Nishida mentioned earlier, we have over 11,000 students in our Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering. So about 30% of those are graduate students. So on this chart here, you can see more of a breakdown, 2/3 master students, 1/3 PhD students. And this is the exact actual enrollment numbers for fall 2022, so this last fall. So we have a considerable amount of graduate students and a really robust graduate student community here for all of those students that come and join us. So let's start with a few department updates. I know, Christina, you might have needed to leave earlier. Are you still here? Okay, we will start with biomedical engineering. Krista, would you like to say a few words or highlight some areas?
Sure, I will start things off. Hello again, everyone. Again, my name is Krista. I'm in the BME department. I think one thing I like to highlight about our master's programs, and we do have multiple ones, and I'll get to that in a second. One thing I like to highlight is our co-localization with the College of Medicine on the UF campus. So we are obviously in the College of Engineering, but we are geographically located a little bit further south of the engineering buildings. We are right next to the hospital. In fact, we are connected through tunnels and different ways to get there, but very, very close, which lends itself to really good research access and access to clinicians and physicians that you might collaborate with while you're potentially doing research in your master's program. A lot of our students, well, all of our non-thesis master's students are required to do a final project. And one of those, there's 4 options to do that through a academic research project, so working in a lab, a clinical immersion, which, as I just mentioned, we're close to the hospital, so you could work with a clinician or a physician and shadowing or helping them to work on an instrument perhaps that might help them in their day-to-day or a problem that they need to solve that has an engineering aspect to it. We also we support students who want to pursue internships for their final projects, and also a literature review that sometimes students will submit for publication at the end of their program. Sorry, I don't want to take up too much time, Mike. Is that good?
Yep, that sounds great.
Okay,
So
perfect.
for those with biomedical engineering, keep your questions coming for Krista in the Q&A. Sumant is here, a faculty member in our chemical engineering department.
Hi everyone, I'm Sumant. So the chemical engineering program requires you to complete 30 credits of graduate coursework. You can choose to do a thesis if you wish to. We recommend that you identify a research group as soon as you arrive on campus so that you can begin working on your project. And then besides having a optional thesis component, we do ask all of our master's students to take a lab class called the Advanced Chem Bio Lab. The reason for that being that we want to give you guys exposure to all the emerging areas of chemical manufacturing, which includes areas such as semiconductor processing, pharmaceutical processes, and even advanced materials. And all of our research areas also cover some of these, they have significant overlap with these emerging fields. And then we have a pretty sizable community, about 120 students, half of which are master's students. We like to hold a barbecue on the first Friday of every month for all the graduate students to get together and also get to know each other a lot better, because it has been a challenge since the pandemic. Overall, students graduate within 2 years. We also encourage that you apply for internships typically in your first summer or towards the end of your program in your final semester. And recently, we've seen a lot of our students being able to get internship positions also, which is very encouraging for us.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sumant. We have a newer staff here today, Jordan, for Industrial and Systems Engineering. And I know we have some students online. If you'd like to say a few words, Jordan.
Yeah, sure. So just 2 things that I would like to highlight within the ISC department is just the concentrations that are available for our master's degree. We have concentrations in data analytics, human systems engineering, operations research, and production and service operations. Additional details can be found on our website. As well as we also have a page devoted to funding opportunities for graduate students. So scholarships for master's and doctorate students. So I have noticed in the Q&A there have been questions about opportunities for funding. So anyone admitted to the ISC department that is researching additional funding opportunities, I suggest you also take a look at that on our website.
Okay, great. That's some good advice. And I know many students are interested in that. Speaking of departments, we have this top 5 ranking among public universities in the United States, but we also have an outstanding reputation among our engineering departments. And this lists many of them here, individual rankings, and US News and World Report is probably one of the most reputable ranking systems, and those change every year. So you can see just kind of a snapshot of how well that we perform in those areas. So we have a lot of students for electrical and computer engineering. Julissa?
Yes, we've gotten a lot of questions already. Since people have been asking, I just wanted to point out that we no longer offer a Master of Engineering program. It was recently discontinued, and actually for our department, the curriculum was pretty much identical to our Master of Science program, so you're not missing out on anything if you're doing the Master of Science program. Our program is 30 credits. And something interesting is that we recently came up with tracks for our program. They're not mandatory, but since a lot of our, especially our international students, have liked a lot more structure and course plans, we've come up with those. So there's a few of them, but some of them are like computer architecture, machine learning and AI, electronic integrated circuits, and they can all be found on our website. Our program is 30 credits. And you can take up to 9 credits outside of our department. For our program, the admissions and the advising are separate, so I don't have a lot of information on the program itself, but if anyone wants to contact me, I can leave my my email in the chat, and you can feel free to contact me if you have any program questions.
Thank you. And we have one of the master students here in ECE. Ushian, would you like to just say a few words about your experience here as a master student in ESE?
Well, yes, for me, so I can see many students are curious about the classes or the TA or our opportunity. So for the classes, my background is related to electrical engineering. I have done electrical engineering when I was back to Korea. So for my case, all of the courses are quite easy. So I pay more attention or put my time on my research rather than the coursework. And for other background students, first they struggle at the beginning of the classes. Like for example, the DSP class, the digital signal processing class. At the beginning, they are hard to get familiar with the idea or the words, like each concepts of the classes. But eventually, after the midterm, they know what they are doing now, and then all of the students pass the classes. So my recommendation is always welcome to study more or read related books before coming to UF. That is good point, but I think you don't have to worry a lot for taking up courses. So let's move on to TA or RA opportunity. Fortunately, I got RA when I was in second year, so I would say it is not impossible to get funding during your master program. So I have seen some friends, they start doing part-time job in campus, like Starbucks, from the beginning of their semester. But most of the friends who are highly interested on this scholarship or this RA opportunity, I think most of them could find those opportunities from their second year because there are a lot of positions in EC departments, the medical department, and also biomedical departments too. There are many faculty members affiliated with the EC department, and also you got a notification from other departments too. So it is not really easy to get opportunity, but I will say it is not impossible at all to get opportunities. So yeah, generally I'm quite satisfied with the master program in ECE because there are many opportunities for me. And I truly enjoyed for my 2 years. Gainesville is such a beautiful city to study and also hang out with your friends.
Okay, great. Paula is here from our School of ESE to highlight a few areas.
Of course. So our master's programs, they fall in between civil and coastal engineering, and then of course environmental engineering sciences. Both are 30 credit hours that are required for the master's programs. We do see thesis and non-thesis options, but we usually tell students to talk to their appointed advisors about that, and you'll see that in an admissions letter. Usually students can complete these programs in about 12 months or more. And you only need, of course, the bachelor's to apply. We do have an EDGE online program that sometimes our students will switch into once they start, if they start on campus. So that is an option if there's something that comes up, but of course there's visa requirements and things like that. We do have 14 specializations and 1 concentration, and that's something a little bit more on the advising end that your advisor will work with you more on. But if you have any questions, please let us know and we'll contact you with your advisor if needed.
Okay, great. Thank you. There's lots of questions being typed in, so keep those coming so everybody who's here as a panelist can help to answer those for you. Mechanical and aerospace engineering, I believe, is our largest department. Megan is here.
Yes, so 2 things that I like to highlight to prospective students are our freedom of academic planning and our graduate student social life. So your advisor will be able to work with you a little better on this, but you really have freedom to choose an academic path that works for you and meets your goals and helps you envision and make those career goals come to life. So I really like the freedom that our students have to choose their classes. And of course, our department's social life seems very lively. Our graduate student council is the loudest thing on our floor once a month when they have their social hours. So definitely, if you come here, look forward to lots of peers and lots of social time so that you are able to assimilate well into our program.
Great. And our final department update is Tahara and Material Science Nuclear Engineering.
Hello, my name is Tahara, and kind of echoing what other people are saying. Program requires 30 credit hours. Students are able to take 9 credits of coursework outside of the department. And there is flexibility on how you can tailor the program to your interests. And we do have a supportive staff, supportive faculty, walk-in advising hours. We offer advising via Zoom. You can schedule an appointment with us. And I know some students kind of had some questions about TA opportunities and research assistantships and maybe participating in research or converting from master's to PhD. All of those things are possible with our department. And so we would just stress the importance of using the advising staff, reaching out to us for any questions that you may have. And there are no silly questions. So we're open to discussing any ideas that you may have. And so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Okay, great. Thank you. Sonia is one of our current graduate students in the MSc department. Do you have some advice for these students, especially those that are still considering whether or not to pick Florida? And what is your experience like here?
So my experience, at least in the MSc department, is very welcoming. All the professors are relatively open and willing and ready to meet with you. There's a ton of space for collaborations, whether you decide to go a thesis route and do research or not. There's a ton of space for collaborations. I was able to work with material science professors. I was able to work with biomedical engineering professors, mechanical engineering. So there's a lot of space for you to become interdisciplinary yourself, even if you choose one department versus another. And out of all the faculty, regardless of the department, have been extremely responsive and encouraging. So it really makes it easy to, pursue and succeed here at UF. And it also is warm, which is also nice, depending on where you are from. So it's been a great experience for me here at University of Florida. And I hope to see you guys decide to come here.
All right, great. Okay, so let me go over a few more numbers with you in detail. So for fall 2023, we've had almost 4,200 applications that have come in. About 1,650 have been admitted when I checked yesterday. There's still hundreds more that are being processed. We usually are between maybe 2,000 and 2,300 or 2,400 that get admitted. So I do expect some more. All of our graduate staff, which you just heard from, are working on this every single day. This takes months to go through these thousands of applications. The GRE was waived for everyone except for CISE this year. And we are anticipating about 800 to 900 plus. Sometimes you have as many as 1,000 new master students that will be starting in fall 2023. So some of you have already accepted your admission. You did that online. This was the simple process. Some of you are still deciding. So when you get to the point of your final decision, you can go online here to accept or decline your offer. It's really important that you do that online because there are so many offices and units at UF that would interface with new master students. And so they all can have access to this to know if you're accepting or declining. If you don't go and do that online, then sometimes these other offices don't know. And they don't know to send you the appropriate information or to stop sending you information if you're declining. So April 15th is kind of the standard deadline, but we do extend that for the new master students. Some departments may have put May 1st or May 15th in your letter, especially for those who are only very recently admitted masters or are still waiting to hear. So they try to hold to, have at least a minimum of 2 weeks. So that deadline can vary. If you've long received your admission, though, then we do hold to that April 15th. The cost is important for all of you. We realize that. We are very proud that being in our top 10 rankings, the #5 public university, but more importantly, we are #1 on that list for the cost. For the cost of the tuition, we are one of the most economical public universities in the entire country, and certainly the most economical out of the top 10. So that's important, but it's not just the cost of the tuition, but also to live in Gainesville or very near to Gainesville. It's not a large city, so the costs are able to be more affordable for students. And I think for those that share apartments, it can be even more affordable beyond that. So Martine talked about that 4,500 for international students. So if you are a non-Florida resident, so if you would be coming here from another state or from another country where you are paying the out-of-state tuition, then we have the Academic Achievement Award, and you are guaranteed to receive this. If you are admitted to the master's program, any of our departments, this is for the in-person masters, not online, and you accept your admission and you enroll, then you will get the $4,500 off your tuition. And the way it works is you have $1,500 less for each of the 3 semesters. So 3 semesters in a row. Now, for those of you that are CISE, we actually have computer science that is in both the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and the College of Engineering. And this award is only valid for the College of Engineering. So if you applied for College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and you want this award, then you need to change that over to CISE. So you need to make sure that you get in touch with Christina Sapp. She was here at the beginning of this webinar, but not, I think she had to go. But her information and her email and stuff is in here, and then she would have to switch you over so that you could receive this. You do not, the Edge online programs, which about half or 2/3 of our departments offer online for the master's, some do not. That's already a severely discounted tuition. So we could not take the $4,500 off of that because in many cases, the tuition is half for those that are not going to be moving here to campus or to Gainesville. So what else I know is important, I'm going to let some of our departments that work on these, or if our students want to say anything. Students is very important for, if you come here for to Florida and you get the degree, what's going to happen on the tail end when you leave after you've graduated? Are we going to help you to get jobs and internships? And we spend a tremendous amount of time and effort on that. We have the University of Florida Career Connection Center. It's a very large enterprise over in Wrights Union and located on 2 different floors with lots of staff. And they have companies that come in there every single week of the year. And those companies are looking to hire University of Florida students, both bachelor's students, master's students, and PhD students, and provide internships. And they're looking on doing this throughout the year. And so they do this for international students. Some companies are limited if they can have students with visas for jobs or internships, some are not, and they're also certainly doing this with students across the United States. So our students that are here. So we have this large career fair, and it takes place 2 days in the fall and 2 days in the spring term. And I think we have over 600 companies that come on those days now and set up. And it's so big we have to host it in our basketball arena, and that's a picture of it there. But it's not just this fair that's campus-wide. We also have individual engineering departments that have their own effort. So here's some for BME if Krista wants to highlight some areas.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Mike. This is a great slide. It's pretty self-explanatory. Every year in the spring, we just had Industry Connect. We have this event called Industry Connect. We bring in different companies with a biomedical focus. They're usually here for about half a day with booths set up in our atrium, talking to students, letting them know of internship, co-op, employment opportunities. And there's options to give them your resume if you're on the job market. They will give an overview presentation about their company and what their projects are, what their like major thrusts are in their companies. So yeah, this is something that we do every year. And also throughout the year, we have here and there different little presentations from companies as well. And they have a special name, which is escaping me at the moment, but they're supplemental to Industry Connect. So we have other one-off seminars about other companies as well.
Christina had to head out, but CISE is one of our largest departments for master student enrollment, and this is such an up-and-coming area for data science, data technology, artificial intelligence, and they have lots and lots of top companies throughout the US that come here year-round. And so they have their fair, I think it was over 2,000 students that attended it this last fall. So this takes place, and we care deeply about, as you move forward towards graduation, this is available to you. SE does this as well, Paula?
Yeah, so we have our career fair evening with industry every spring and fall. We're actually planning our fall event now, but this last spring we had over 80 companies attend. We actually have to plan for a bigger space this coming fall because we were having issues accommodating everybody, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing because we have over 200 students undergrad and graduate level come out and talk to these companies and talk about internships, visa opportunities, employment, and things like that. So.
Jordan, I'm not sure if you're familiar with some of these yet. Do you have any comments on the ISE career fairs that they run or services for your students?
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't experienced it myself yet, as I understand kind of what others have already referenced regarding the career fairs and similar opportunities available in the other departments. We invite companies that have a history with employing our graduates from our department, and they set up booths, and they're available to kind of meet with the students in the ISC department and just build those connections for to help with that post graduation career search.
Okay, great. So I'm going to pass to Ashley for the next couple of slides that talk about graduate student life and housing in the city.
Hi, I am actually an Alachua County resident, so I grew up here in Gainesville. We currently have our EGSC group, which is our Engineering Graduate Student Council, that a lot of our engineering students are a part of, and they put on different types of events. We recently, in January, they had a bowling night in the game room on campus, different social events. There's lots of local restaurants around campus within walking distance or driving, and we also have the city bus system that is free to all UF students. There's local events in Gainesville throughout the whole year. There's different festivals that are at Depot Park, which is very close to campus. I believe it's within a mile from campus, and it's got multiple of the city bus stops to it. There's springs for tubing and kayaking in some of the cities right outside of Gainesville. We also have the Harn Museum of Art and the Florida Museum on campus. And then there's other ways to get involved on campus too. We have a link for the graduate school, graduate life website. And then we have on-campus housing. We have a link currently where you can go through and look at all the different housing options on campus. There's residence halls as well as the Tanglewood Village, Quarry Village, and Diamond Village, which seem to be used mainly by our graduate students. And there's more information about that as well within the housing page. Housing can be on and off campus. Around UF, there's many different apartment complexes. The Continuum is one that many of the graduate students currently reside in, as well as, again, the Quarry Village, Diamond Village, and Tanglewood Village. Swamp Rentals and apartment.com are great websites to find multiple different apartments around UF. I don't know if either of our graduate students that we have with us today have any information about where they've chose to live.
Sonia and Ushin, would you like to comment about your housing or any advice on housing search for future master students?
Yeah, absolutely. So at least for me, the housing search was very easy. I had a lot of faculty and people within my department who were also looking for housing, so I was able to like tag in on that with them. The MSc department had an Excel sheet or something of that sort where a lot of students would share, like, hey, I'm looking for roommates and the locations. Currently, I'm in a townhome with 2 other colleagues, so it's been relatively easy to find housing. And then whenever you ask someone, somebody knows somebody. So there's a lot of options in Gainesville, and you can get as close or as far as to campus as you want. It's just really who you know and who you speak to. But there are a lot of housing options, and I didn't really have much trouble finding a place to stay.
Great,
Okay,
thank you.
for me, I prefer. Oh, okay. So okay. So for me, I prefer living alone rather than having a roommate. So there are many options around campus. You can find nice home for you, but I moved my place to the Diamond Village in the last year, and I think Diamond Village is quite a nice place because it's really close to campus, and the renting fee is really low. So currently my rent fee is around $750 for a 2 bedroom, and I'm living alone, so I think it's quite affordable as around this like campus apartment.
Can you talk about like the busing and stuff too for those that come without cars?
I bought a car when I come here, so I did not use bus option a lot, but I can say there are many buses, so transportation is not bad in Gainesville. So, but I think it's so-so to be honest, because I heard a lot of complaints from my friends about the bus transportation, about the time issue. But anyway, it is possible to you can reach out wherever you want.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a car as well, but sometimes I do like using the bus. UF goes through a lot of construction, so sometimes the bus will be delayed. However, there's a lot of apps and ways to keep track of the bus system. There's certain buses that can get you to certain apartment complexes and all around campus. They have been working to improve the schedule and timing of when the buses arrive, making sure it's accurate. But there are ways to get around. Like there's times where my car would break down and I just take a bus, and I had no issue planning accordingly to get to wherever I need to get to.
Great, thanks. So some of our student life and sports life, we've done 35 NCAA national championships. We're top 10 for 32 straight years for the NCAA Division I National All Sports standing. Our football team is a large part of student life. Most students attend football games in the Ben Hill Griffin Football Stadium. We also have a very large basketball arena. That's where, again, Mike had said that we have some of our conferences and whatnot when we have companies come in. And we're in the SEC, the Southeastern Conference. Gainesville, Florida was settled in 1854. The population is currently 146,104 people. Our annual average temperature is about 81 degrees. It's usually fairly warm here, or comfortable at least. This winter we had a little bit more lows than normal, but it doesn't typically get below 32 very often. Gainesville is very central in the state. We're about 80 minutes to the Atlantic Ocean and 60 minutes to the Gulf of Mexico, as well as 2 hours to Tampa or Orlando and 90 minutes to Jacksonville, which are some of the other large cities within Florida where there's more to do. Orlando has a lot of theme parks. Gainesville ranks number 13 on Money Inc.'s 20 best places to live in Florida. And that's as of now currently. And Gainesville ranks number 11 on best college reviews.
Okay, so we've gone over a lot of information today. So I'm going to ask Ashley if there's any last questions that you have, to put them in the Q&A, and we could just go over some of those for everybody now. So if you could look at that, Ashley. So here's all of the individuals that have presented today, and you have all of their emails there. Again, we're going to post these slides and the recordings by Friday. So I hope you find that University of Florida is a suitable place for your master's degree. I think you can see from what we presented today in your interactions that we really do have a lot to offer. We have a top academic institution, a quality product, and a very economical product, and our students certainly seem very happy about their experience here. Are there any questions that we haven't got to that we should go over now?
Currently, there's one asking what's the cheapest or the average living cost, especially accommodation costs on campus.
Okay, do Sonia and Ushan, do you want to, do you feel comfortable talking about the cost that for your housing?
Yeah, so I live in a townhome, not an apartment, so it's kind of like a house connected to other houses, for lack of better ways of explaining it. And so it's a 3-bedroom, 2.5. It's about, I want to say 1,600, but we split it 3 ways because it's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. So we pay about five to 600 each when you include utilities and whatnot. A lot of places around campus have been very similar in that 500 to 600 range, depending on what you're looking for, utilities included, and vice versa. And a lot of them come with the great amenities such as like pools, fitness rooms, and whatnot. It just really depends on where you go. Like, my email's up there, so if you have any questions or you want any recommendations, please feel free to email me, and I can send you a list of places I know myself and a lot of my peers have been looking into.
Yes, for me, I'm living in an on-campus apartment, and my rental fee is $750, including the utility fee. And I believe most of the Diamond Village apartments rent fee is around $700. Oh, so by the way, my apartment is like 2-bedroom option. So if you're living in 1 bedroom, then it'll be cheaper than my case.
Okay, so there's 2 good specific examples for you. Others, Ashley, or did we get most of them?
That's pretty much most of them.
Okay, so we've gone for just over an hour here, so I hope you all find that this has been helpful. Please feel free to get a hold of any of us, and we can continue to help you as you're finalizing your decision. And we hope you find that University of Florida will be a great place for you to come for your master's degree, and then we will have many more interactions in the future. So thank you so much for your time today. We realize that you're all very talented students and that you do have a lot of choices, but we all feel really good about University of Florida. We all work here now, we like it here, or we're current students that are here and having a great experience. So thank you for your time, and we hope to see you again in the future.